what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC. Welcome back to everybody. We're following up on the June builds. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please subscribe if you're interested in knife content or how to make knives. That's what I do. And you missed all the work that I put in to get to this point with these two knives and with some future stuff that are coming up. So subscribe to the channel or you're missing out on a bunch of cool stuff. So guys, let's zoom in a little bit. The spike and the bud are doing well. Let me hide these for a second. So I got the sheaths done. Last time we left, I was working on the sheaths, or I was getting ready to start the sheaths. And so I went ahead, knocked out the sheaths real fast, got them really good, nice retention. It's not rattling. They're fitting very nicely. Same for the spike. Click it in, it's not rattling, and it fits really, really good. So I got the spike and the bud in good spot, and on top of that, I went ahead and made a bead. This is the bead, obviously, for the bud. It matches that material, so I'm just gonna do black lanyard. Excuse me. A black lanyard with that cool bead. That material turned out pretty cool as a bead. I wasn't sure what that was going to look like, but I'm happy with the way that that looks. Looks pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then for the spike, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Did I want to do just a blue G10, my Carta bead? But I found some leftover of the G Carta that I did recently for the Bloom harpoon for Jim Miller, and I decided to make a bead for that so it matches kind of the black and blue theme going on. So I'm just going to do black lanyard with this bead. I think that'll look really, really cool. What do you guys think? I think that looks awesome. So these two are about done. The only thing I have left to do on the spike, technically, really, is I need to put an edge on it and do maybe some final oiling on the handle and the blade. And then this one will be buttoned up. Oh, I gotta put the lanyard on, duh. But this one will be completely done. So the spike is coming very soon. Plus, I'm putting out a video on this one, which should be pretty fun. So the spike is coming to you very soon. The bud, on the other hand, there's still some work to do. What I want to do is try to clean up this curly maple that I put on here. And I want to put a little bit of Danish oil on here. It kind of brings out the grain of the wood and kind of makes it pop a little bit more. And then let that soak and dry and let that do its thing. Maybe a couple layers of that, and then maybe some linseed oil to really protect everything. It protects the wood, plus it brings out all the grain. And then technically, then all that's left on this is then put an edge on it, and again, the lanyard. So got the bud in really good shape, really comfortable. Haven't made one in a while, and I'm really excited to get this one out to you guys. So I have that, and let's see, the first thing I should do is probably oil up this just to see what it looks like. All right, so I'm all gloved up, ready to go. Actually, before I do that, I need to clean up this blade. So let me grab a towel. Dropping everything. So I'm just gonna take a little acetone, make sure any oils and everything else are off of here. So spray that down with acetone. Clean this off once again. I've been trying to keep it very clean, but you never know. So I'm gonna clean it really well right before we put this on, and I'll show you what I'm gonna put on. I like to use this for wood. I've used it a couple times and had some really good success with it. So I'm gonna try it again, see what it looks like when I'm done. I've noticed my camera has been very messed up lately. Hold on. It's a little better. All right, so what I'm going to use is some of this Danish oil. I just have an old piece of fabric here, an old sock. I'm gonna dab a little bit on here. It doesn't take much. Definitely doesn't take much, and I don't want to make too big of a mess, but let's do this. Let's see what we look like. So I'm just going to take this, wipe it on, and I'm going to let it sit on the blade. Let it just sit there. And it's got to soak in. It's got to work its magic. It takes time. Make sure I get everything. I don't care if it gets on the steel. It's not going to do anything to steel. It's not going to do anything to the resin material back here, the wire works. It shouldn't do anything to that, I hope. I guess I'm going to find out. But it should just wipe off because it's not a porous material. So I'm just going to get it in there really good. And you can already see it's bringing out some of the beauty in that wood. So, all right. So I'm going to basically hang this up and just let this soak in. And I might do this 1 or 2 more times just to see what it looks like. And then I'll catch you on the other side. All right, guys, what do you think of that? I think that's looking pretty good. Get the nice grain in there. I just applied a second coat. So that's looking good. Let me spin this around, see if we can look at the other side without popping everything off. The other side looks good. There's not as much grain over here on this side, but it still looks pretty awesome. So, pretty happy with that. So now I'm gonna let this dry, and then maybe I'll try some linseed oil, or I'll just try some of that Wicked Wax, clean wax, and then everything else, and that will help make everything good. So I'm gonna do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna set up the spike in my TS Prof, and I really need to take that change. Why is that there? My daughter was supposed to do that, but it looks like I'm gonna be doing that. So anyway, that needs to be cashed out. I'm tired of looking at that back. TS Prof's gonna come up here and we're gonna start sharpening the spike. Alright guys, so the bud is looking pretty good. You can see all that nice grain in there. Gave it a little bit of depth. So that is looking really, really good now. Really happy with that. So the next step on this one is I need to put an edge on it, and then I'll just do the final oiling on it, etc. when that is all done. And then the spike has now been sharpened, got a nice edge on it. And the only thing left on this now is I need to put the lanyard, or you know what? Let's do something. I want to try something. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. We're going to see. So our friends over at Wicked Wax sent me over some free samples of stuff. So I've used this on some of the carbon steels to help with corrosion, but I want to try to put it on this micarta just to see what it looks like. I'm afraid it's going to darken it too much. I kind of like the way that it is though, so I don't want to darken it too much. I don't know. Let's see. Just a little bit. Let's see what happens. Just a little bit. Let's see. I didn't do too much. So I'm going to continue. Let's see. Put a little bit more. Just to help protect the micarta as well. It'll just darken it up a little bit. And protect it. Because the micarta is somewhat of a porous material. Although, you know, it is waterproof, etc. Yeah, what do you think of that? That looks pretty good. Darkened it up a little bit. Do not cut yourself. Do not cut yourself. So, yeah. What do you think of that? I think that looks good. Little protection on the micarta. Put a little bit, whatever's left on my finger on the blade itself. A little bit more, just to protect the finish on the blade, and it protects the blade from corrosion. If you have a non-stainless blade, it's good. Every once in a while, get a product like this. Wicked Wax definitely seems to be working well. You don't need a lot, just a little to protect the blade. And I think we are now ready for the sheath. I am going to wipe that down a little bit with a towel. Get that closed. I'm going to wipe that down just a little bit to get the excess off. I don't want it too much. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. All right. All right, refocus here. What do you guys think of that? I think that looks good. There's a little bit of texturing on the handle. That's really, really awesome. The first spike is taking shape, guys. It's taking shape. Really liking it. So now the finishing touch on this one is I'm going to put a lanyard on it. We got to give it its bead, which I don't know. Did I show you guys the bead? I don't even remember, but I'm going to show it to you again. We did a little bit of that Damascus material that I had left over, and I made a bead. So it's going to get the black lanyard with that. I think that will look pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the spike and then turn my attention to this one. Give it a nice edge and do the lanyard on this one. And I think I showed you guys the bead on that. So that bead came out awesome. So I'm going to get these two all buttoned up. Well, all right, guys, this is an exciting day to do this. This is the first spike completed. This was a fun build. I really think this design is a really cool one. I'm really happy with the way that this came out. Will they all look like this? No. I can do acid etched, I can do satin, I can do all the different finishes, different handle materials, everything else. I can make the handle materials a little thicker. I just decided to make this one a little thin. It's a nice compact little handle on it. And I really think that's a cool design. It's actually a little bit longer than what I normally do. So let's look at it. The overall length is 6 1/4 and the blade length is 3 1/4. So, you know, you got a 3 1/4 inch handle with a 3-inch or 3-inch handle, 3 1/4 inch blade. You got micarta with the blue G10 liners and hardware and a custom bead. The bead came out really, really cool, so I'm happy with that. And I think it matches the blue and the black of the blade really well also. I love the stonewash on this. It came out really, really well. And I'm just overall happy with the first, I guess you could say, prototype of the spike, but the first one I ever made, and I'm really, really happy with it. So the only thing left on this one is I got to put the belt loop on it, which that's simple. And then I need to do final pictures, and then this one is going to be released. If you follow me on Instagram and here on YouTube as well, I will announce when this is going to hit the Etsy store, and it's a first come first serve. I only made one. I'm hoping down the road I'll get this design put into CAD so I can get some water jetted pieces, and then maybe I'll do like 5 or 6 at a time and drop a bunch on the Etsy store along with the bloom and the rock hopper and the thorn and all the other designs that I really like. That's the hope, is every other month I'm going to make 4 or 5 of these and throw them all up on the Etsy store for you guys to be able to purchase. But for right now, this is the first ever spike, and I'm really happy with the way that that came out. Awesome sauce. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But next up is I got to finish the bud. This has got to get sharpened. It's going to have to get its lanyard put on it, and the final kind of coat of whatever I decide to put on the handle to get it looking pretty good. Although I gotta say, the handle is looking pretty superb now, and I really like the way that it feels. So again, the bud, 3 fingers, but the way that that really hits you, and then once the lanyard gets put on there, ooh, man, it's gonna be a fun little blade. And that Damascus just came out fantastic. Really love the way that that thing looks. So looking forward to getting this one in a good spot. So I tell you what, I'm gonna finish this one right now. Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna see what the time is left on this video, and then maybe I'll do some more time lapse of me sharpening the bud. Alrighty, so just finishing touch on the bud. I'm gonna put the strap on. Easy enough. Put that there, put this here. So these two are now done. They will be dropping on the Etsy store. I will announce when they will be hitting, dropping I guess is the wrong word. I will be putting them up for sale on my Etsy store. How about that? And sometime very soon, based on the release of this video. And I will announce that on, there we go. How do you think of that? I will release that on Instagram and in my community page here on YouTube. But the bud, got the lanyard, got its nice bead on it, Damascus blade, nice and sharp, the curly maple with the teal wireworks. Yep, ended up coming out really, really nice. You get that 3 fingers plus the lanyard. Yeah, very comfortable. The finger always lands right before the bead. Yep, great little knife. And let's see. It's real cut, nice and sharp. No issues. Damascus is a little interesting to sharpen, only because you have all the layers, and the layers are hitting the edge, so it is laser sharp. I can guarantee that. So anyway, we got the bud, and again, just one more time, the spike looking good. So both of these will hit the Etsy store coming up very, very soon. I have to do final pictures and videos and set all that up for the store, but I also release it here. So these two are done. I need to do the maker's card for the bud. Actually, I need to print a couple. And then on the next one, I'm going to turn my full attention onto the Tabiko and getting this one in good shape. Again, I'm going to do the rosewood bolsters with the Juma Gem. I think this was like teal Juma Gem, and I think that color combination is going to be pretty cool. Put those two things together. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So, looking forward to getting that one done. But I'm also happy I got these two, and I get to put something on my Etsy store. How long it will last, I do not know. That is up to you guys. So thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is yours. Have a good one.